All right. I was going through my toolbox and I ran across this old computer from a cat. And there's a story behind it, which is kind of interesting. Um, it was a C12. So I don't know, what would that make it? A 2004, 2098? I don't remember. It was pretty old. It was an old Navistar or International dump truck with a C12. So what happened is this dump truck belonged to a trucking company, and they had parked it for some years and had been sitting and sitting, and they decided, hey, we're gonna fix the truck that started it all, the original dump truck that got the trucking company going. So they went at it, and they were having a problem with the truck. I don't remember specifically what happened as far as what got them to a new computer. But what happened is they were having problems, so they came to the dealership and they bought a harness, and that didn't fix it. So then they came back and they bought a computer, and that didn't fix it. And then they called, because they were a trucking company and they did so much business with us, they had their own product support regional sales guy, or in other words, the guy that comes out, the salesman. So they get a hold of him and ask for help. So he tells the guys, hey, look, why don't you guys just tow the truck up here to the shop and let us work on it for you? He goes, it sounds like, and they had been messing with it for like a month and a half or 2 months, on and off, back and forth, and try this and try that, and back and forth. So, out of courtesy to the customer, the salesman got him another computer free. And same thing. So we went and found the old computer and we held on to it. And then what we did is we did this. Hey, baby. For Caterpillar, and I think every brand, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Packard, whether it's Cummins, whether it's Deutz, whether it's Komatsu, whether it's, you name it, somewhere they will have the ability to install what's a breakout harness. So what is a breakout harness? Well, a breakout harness basically is something that lets you connect towards your laptop, your CAT ET or Insight or whatever. But all it needs is this, a hot in the ground. And it will turn on the computer. This particular one, it's a 70 pin. We install it on the computer, hook up the batteries, hook up CAT ET, and guess what? She's running. She's up and running. Of course, we got a gazillion fault codes because this side, the engine side, is not connected, so it's every sensor that it's looking for is going to throw an active fault. Injectors, coolant, oil pressure, ambient air temperature, you name it, it's on there. But we can see that the computer's awake. Okay, so we left it all day with a battery charger to see if it would cut out. It never did. So we knew that they were going down the wrong road. So anyway, after some convincing and whatever, the salesman got them to bring the dump truck to the shop. Now, when you work for a dealer, there's only one hitch. There's only one thing that's, well, I don't know about now. Things have changed. But sometime back, the dealer was expected to fix it. If it came to the dealer had to fix it. And that was the mantra or the mindset or the strategy. It did not have to go past the dealer. Of course, now these days, we hear about, engines that go to the dealer and they put a turbo and they put a DOC and they put a DPF and they put an SCR and they put a new computer and they put an EGR cooler, and only come to find out that the differential pressure hoses were plugged because the dealer missed them. That's a whole different video. We won't even get into that. Getting back to our old dump truck. So we went ahead and got the dump truck, and I think the problem we were having, like I said, I came across this computer and it made me think of that case. But the problem was it was cutting out. You know, you drive it and it would cut out, and sometimes it would start and sometimes it wouldn't start and whatever. So once we put our breakout harness, we were able to maintain it alive. And what we did is we actually wired in a throttle. We repinned the throttle to the breakout on the block, and then we were able to have throttle, which was that's all we wanted. So we went down the road and didn't have a problem. Put the original connector here and we would have a problem. So after a lot of meter work, it was determined that there was a bulkhead connector in the firewall. And what happened is, this is the connector where the wiring goes to the firewall and passes through a connector, and then on the reverse side it also had a harness. So that connector, or bulkhead connector, was a standalone. Two harnesses intersected there, and then they passed through the connector like a pass-through. And then you know, that's our problem was in there. What happened is that pass-through had corroded, had got corrosion in it, and it had just eaten all the terminals. So we actually told the customer what they had, and they actually they came and got the truck, took it with them, and then it took them a while, but I think they ended up buying a used bulkhead connector, or they bought a used cab that had the bulkhead connector and some other pieces they wanted, and they put it together and no more problems. But you know, sometimes it's best to have one of these, a breakout harness. Hey, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.